In this lecture, we'll be looking at the basis of branding. You know, there's nothing that you want to do that does not have a background. So before a brand can come to full visibility, before the world can see that okay, this is what this person is doing, there's some expected task that is expected to be done underneath before the brand come to visibility. So these are the things that are called the basis. So they are foundational things that needs to be done for a business or for a brand to become successful. So, and as a brand consultant, these are the things that you need to know for you to be able to help any brand to come to visibility, to build a brand or to even rebrand an existing brand. These are the key factors and the major things that you need to know and be able to understand well. So these are the things I will be looking at in this lecture. So the basis of branding. So we are going to be looking at some basis, some fundamental basis, some keys, some points that goes along with branding. So you might have been hearing brand and branding. You know, when we look at a company, for example, let's say maybe any one of us, if you are into a particular work that we are doing, so and let's say that is your business or that's your company. So branding is it talks on it based on the outward appearance of your company. From everything, I don't want to rush us with some point. I just want to be careful with my words so that we'll be able to understand very well. So let me just use it like that and as a word, that the physical appearance of your company or anything that you are doing is what we call branding. Why the brand is the main sector or the main body that is running that branding, that is behind the physical appearance, is called the brand. So there's nothing that happens without something. So before we can say that we have branding, there must be a brand, which is either a company or a business. So let's have a definition of what a brand is. So a brand is a company or business structured for marketing from its purpose, vision, mission, strategy, product, culture, and etc. So when we are starting a business, we are not starting a business to remain at a corner. When you are starting a brand, you are not starting it to remain at a low place. As in, like I have said in the former lecture, I said the purpose of every business is profit. So, and then to make profit, you must come to the market. So marketing, you bringing whatever you are doing to the market, is the only way you can make profit. So if we say a brand is any company or business that is structured for marketing. It is built, it is established, the mission, the purpose, the vision, the mission, the strategy, the product, the culture, everything that are called branding process are in place, and they are structured for only one target: marketing. So if your brand is not in the market, then it means it is not a brand yet. So anything brand must be targeted for marketing. A company might be operating in either product or services. As a brand, we can have some brands that are based on products, like Coca-Cola. They are based on products. They sell drinks, they sell soft drinks. Dangote based on products, cement, and the likes. And there's some companies that are based on services, like Global 3 Concept is based on service. So these are the two aspects at which a brand might be structured for marketing in their product aspect. So it is either through a product or through a service. So there must be one thing that you are doing as a brand to reach the market. Reaching the market, staying in the market, remaining in the market is one of the greatest efforts that a brand should put into, because you don't just reach the market, you have to be able to remain in the market. You have to remain. You have to be able to stay in the market. We have seen a lot of products that they came out and eventually we are not seeing them again. We have seen a lot of a lot of brand, a lot of product outside there, a lot of service outside there that we no more see them again. They reach the market, but they did not remain in the market. So remaining in the market is one of the best key. Is one of the most focused aspect of any brand. So a brand must be focused on that aspect to remain in the market, to make sure that, oh, we have reached the market, we must remain in the market, and we must continue to be in the market. Let's quickly have a quick review of the origin of brand. There's nothing that has happened without having their own origin. So, the world has progressed. There's a time in the world, at a dark age. So we have the industrial age. So the branding started during this industrial age in the 1800 in Great Britain. So this is the beginning of industrial revolution. Brand. So when a lot of people are localized, we stay in the village, and when we have a village is always a small place. So they have a market square where they go and buy something from the market. Everybody knows themselves. But during this advent of industrial revolution, a lot of people moved to the city, to the capital. So there are a lot of people there, and then different products were coming up. Different people, because of the large multitude of people, as people went there, they are bringing out food, a lot of things. Then, as a result of that, poisoning began to happen a mass poisoning, and then sickness began to occur. Why? Because some people are after profit, so they use anything else for their product that can harm the people just to have profit. And during those days, there's nothing like NAFDAC, there's nothing like this and that. So everything is just one way. So you do what you want to do. Once you have people that want to come and buy from you, you sell to them. So when this issue popped up, and then a lot of people were like, oh, there's fear in the market, who we buy, who we sell. Then some people began to come up with their personal identity. That's when some people began to use their name and put their names on their product to raise trust. So when you buy this product and anything happen to you, you know who to go to and you know who to challenge. That is where brand began to came up from. That's where brand comes up from. So people began to put their names on their product, put their address, put their tag, package their things, sell it to the public, and then that was how different revolution. That's why the advancement until they get to this current time that we are in. So branding started in 1800 in Great Britain. I want you to hold that in your hand. In 1800 in Great Britain, that's where it started from. And then why it started was that people were selling harmful substance through food to people. Their products were harmful, causing sickness, causing mass death. Because of the fear in the town, then some people came up and started putting their name, their identity on their products rather, so that if anything happens, if there's any room for questioning, for querying, they will be able to trace the source and then be able to arrest them or anything like that. So that brings trust in the heart of the people in the city. And that was how brand and branding begins. So, and from then on to this date, it has been advancing. So let's move on to what branding is. There's this one word I want you to hold dearly in branding. That branding is all about reputation. Why do you want to dress good? Why do you want to put on those nice perfume? Why do you want to put on that wonderful shoe? Why do you want to use that glasses? Why do you want to put on that hair that is on your head? Why do you want to go to that particular school? All about reputation. If you go to a kind of school that does not have reputation, your certificate will suffer. But if you go to school that has reputation, You know that once you say I am a graduate of so school, that has built a reputation. So that is what branding is all about. You building a reputation in the market, you having a stand in the market, you having a value in the market. So, and then all these things can only happen when you package yourself. When you package yourself. So, if you are able to put yourself in the heart of the people, from your product to your service, to your business culture, to your physical appearance, then to your designs. So all these things, wonderful design, wonderful product, wonderful service, this makes a brand to stand out. So your branding is beyond you just having a logo, you just having this or that. Branding goes beyond that. Branding is actually you building a strong reputation. It might start from your logo, it might start from your design, but if you have a quality logo, you have a quality design, you have this, that, and that good product package, and what you are doing, your product or your service does not have any impact or any meaning, it's not meaningful, it's not changing anything, it's not needed in the market, then such brand does not have a reputation. As a consultant, this is where you need to this is where there is major work to do, the most focus, the most difficult task, because it goes beyond you just trying to counsel. It goes beyond you making sure that this business, this company is coming to the market, is standing tall in the market, is having a standpoint, a position in the market, and is having a reputation in the heart of the people, and this business or this product or this company is not going down no matter what. We are going to put in a lot of effort, a lot of strategy, a lot of plan, a lot of this to make sure that this product remains in the market. But the first thing, people value what they see most. When your shop, if you have a shop and it's not painted, it's not well decorated, and then another person has a shop that is well painted and decorated, where do you think people will go to? The shop that is well decorated. Why do you think roadside sellers, those that are selling at the roadside, why do you think they remain poor? And those companies that just came up with little designs and like they just write all those companies that we just have, the Mr. Beast and the likes, how do they become successful? They are becoming successful because they put themselves out as a brand and they branded themselves. So what you buy in the local street, 500 naira, when you get there they will sell it for you 1,500 naira, because what they've positioned themselves well. So when you enter there, you'll be able to say, oh, it's worth it. It's worth it. The drug that you buy at the roadside chemist, when you get to pharmacies, you know that the price will be different. And the only difference of these things is just the brand. People trust you when they see that your physical appearance makes meaning. They trust. By merely seeing the physical appearance, it builds trust and reputation in the hearts of people. So let's move on to the key element of branding. Do not forget that we are discussing on the basis of branding. In the next lesson, we are going more deeper. So these are just a peripheral of us for us to be able to understand what we are into and then what branding is and the likes. So these are just the interface. We'll be going deeper in the next lesson. But this also needs to be well understood by every one of us, because understanding this will help you to be able to help a brand to come to the market and to remain in the market. So what are the key elements of branding? Number one, we have unique name. A name, even the Bible says a good name is better than gold and silver. So a good name really matters. Why do you think people go far into the Bible to bring out names for their son or their daughter, to give them beautiful names, handsome names? All because a good name really sounds well and builds reputation in the heart of people. Look at the name Coca-Cola, look at the name Dangote, look at the name Global 3 Concept. They are good names. You see, the names sound professional, it sounds unique, it sounds meaningful. Let's come to some ministerials. Look at Koinonia, look at Remnant Christian Network, look at Christ Embassy. So these are names. They are names that has a meaning. It stands for something. It shows what this brand is all about. So a unique name really matters. Your name is your first identity. Your name is your first identity. So when you know, when you have a good name, a unique name, people will be able to identify you quickly. So when you want to build a brand, you must start from your name. What name are you going to use in the market? What name? And it's not that you are going to use a name today and tomorrow you now come back to come and change the name. That is why once you are conceiving your brand, once you are conceiving that company, the first thing to do is look for a name, a tangible name that represents the brand, that stands for either the culture of the brand, that stands for a lot of things. You know, look at the name Coca-Cola, look at the name Pepsi. These are unique names, simple and unique name. So you must find a name. Now, once you find a name, you must move on to register that name, because once that name comes to the market, and the market has approved that name, and then people has known you with that name, because that is one of the way they trust what you are doing. Your name. When they get to the market, the first thing they'll be searching for is your name on any product. So when I go to the market today, then I see that, the same design, but the name has changed. They will think it's a fake product, and that will affect the company's growth and strength in the market. So as you are conceiving your name, you must make sure that you put down that name registered under the government of any country you belong to, either Nigeria, either outside Nigeria. You must make sure that name is registered. Another thing is a unique logo. And then this logo also must be trademark. These are fundamental, these are basics. These are the things that is expected to be done. If you want to run your brand, you are ready for the market, and then you want to remain in the market and you don't want trouble, you must have a unique name, you must have a logo. Now, once you have a logo, you must trademark that logo. Your logo must be simple and unique. You just come to the market with a kind of logo that doesn't have any meaning. A logo must have its meaning. What is that logo standing for? If you are into beauty products, your logo must show nature. If you are into housing and construction, your logo must depict it. So, making a good logo always makes you have face in the market. So, another thing that you must work on is color. Let the world, let the market, let your customers, the consumers, let them know you with a particular color. The same color you use for the marketing in the market must be the same color you are using for your brand internally. Your market color and your internal color should not go against themselves. If you are working on blue, which stands for trust, when they come to your office, it must be blue. Your external packaging and your internal packaging must complement themselves. It's very important. It's very compulsory. Color, we have color palette. You can mix color. You can have one color. You can have two colors. You can have three colors. And then every color has their meaning. And all these things, you are going to get it in the brand consultant training blueprint. So you will be able to, when you go to that blueprint, you understand a lot of colors and their meaning, and you'll be able to choose which of these colors, which of this meaning best represents what you are doing. just categories. You have the tech world, we have a lot of, a lot of industrial aspect, and each of these aspects has their own unique color. And then you see, when you are making a logo, let me quickly go back to that logo. When you are making a logo must be very simple. Don't come with a complex thing. OPay just has a 0 with a dash. Pixel Lab only has a P. So it's not too much of mixture that can make a logo beautiful. A logo must be simple and unique, easy to remember. Unique. When people see the, okay, this I know that company, I know that brand. The next thing that you need to look at is packaging. How you package yourself. How you your mode of market appearance. When you buy some biscuit, when you look at their package, the way they package it, you want to even buy it more. Some people, merely buying that biscuit makes them look rich to them. And when you look at some other package, when you buy it, they will know that these are poor people that buy this one. And then if you look at the price, the difference of price and those things might not be more than 300 naira, 400 naira. But because of package, because the way it was packaged, when they hold it, they will say, oh, these are rich men's stuff. These are rich men's stuff. Meanwhile, those people that doesn't have a good package, their price difference might just be of 20 or 30%. So unique packaging always make sure that you have good reputation in the market. You must package yourself very well. If you are offering a service, your design must be unique. If it is a product, your product package must be unique. It must stand out. It must make sense. It must be eye-catching. It must be breathtaking. When they see it, they will like, wow. They will want to even buy it. They want to even patronize you. Because the way you package it has caught their attention. Another word for typography is font. If you have been conversant with design, you'll be hearing the word font. So a brand must stick to nothing less than 2 fonts. One for the main name of the brand, another for the body. So if your brand is going above 2 fonts or typography, it must not be more than 3. So people must know you with that font. All these things are what makes you relevant in the market. These are what makes you have a reputation in the market. Coca-Cola has been using that font that they are using to write their name for donkey years now. Dangote has never changed his font, his typography. Pepsi has never changed their typography. All companies has their own typography. They have the font that they use in their product package, in their name, in a lot of things. So you must be able to have a unique font. There are a lot of fonts that you can go for. If you go online, you see a lot of fonts. Just type your company, just put it there, and before you know it, they'll bring a lot of suggested fonts that you can use, and you can find a unique one rather. You see, unique font always makes sense. When you have a font that stands out and it is consistent in all your products, people will know you with that font. So it is important to have that also. But this is another element of branding, typography. Your font must stand out. It must stand out for you. It must be consistent. It must be on all your papers. It must be on all your packaging. It must be written on everything, on the face, internal and outer and external of your company. So these people will know that this company, this is the company. Even if they did not see the name, maybe the product, maybe where it is sent to has had issues and the name has, once they see the typography, they'll be able to know that, oh, this is the company that we are looking for. Lastly, I'll be talking on slogan. I have told us that your name must be registered, your logo must be trademarked, you must have a unique color, you must have a unique packaging, you must have a unique typography. Now, I'm talking about slogan. MTN says everywhere you go. You know that slogan cannot be used by another company, no matter what. Why? Because it has been trademarked by MTN. So you also must find a memorable slogan that anytime your slogan appears, people know that okay, it's from this company. Even if they don't see the name, they don't see the logo, they don't see the color did not appear. But once they hear the slogan, they know that they were talking about this company. Anytime you hear, everywhere you go, you know that there's only one company using that slogan, which is MTN. So for you to be able to build a brand, these are the basic things that must be put in place. All these 6 things must be meaningful, must be unique, must stand out. And there's one thing I want you to understand about this thing is that these are the brand identity. These are the identity. Once anybody sees your product, meets your service, encounter it anywhere, they know what it is because this is your identity. And then these things are static. What did I mean by static? They are unchangeable. You don't change them. You don't come up in the future and say, oh, you're not more using this name, you want to use this name. That is why everything you are running, you must have them registered on time. On time. Once you consider business, you must register the name. You must trademark the logo. You must also trademark the slogan. And for your information, if you want to register, if you want to trademark, I do it. And then it's going to be another a VIP access for us after this course. If you can afford it, if you want to learn it, you can also do, you can help it to, you can also do it for others and you make your money. And then you can also do it for yourself. But if you are not interested, I can help you. You pay for the service and I'll help you to do it. So these things really helps a brand. It will help a brand to be visible, to be seen, to be known, to have a good reputation in the market. Don't forget that branding is all about reputation. For you to build a strong reputation in the market, the basic thing, the things that are the basis for you to understand is that a unique name, a unique logo must be in place, a unique color, a unique typography, a memorable slogan, and the last one. So it must be in place. It must be in place. Quickly to shorten the video, I'm going to rush this aspect. Importance of branding. What are the 3 main importance of branding? Number 1, branding makes you stand out in the market. I've said this times that number. It will help you to stand out in the market. People will know you different from your competitors. Number 2 is that it builds credibility and trust. It makes people to trust you. Remember, let's go back to the origin of branding. That the origin of brand is that for trust, for the sake of trust. That is why brand started. Because when all this problem began to happen then, so people to be able to trust and then for people to be able to sell and buy, so they had to introduce brand and branding. So that is where branding started from. The third point is that branding helps you to build influence on customers. Let me tell you the truth. The only way a brand can survive in the market is that the brand must have influence. The influence of Dangote cement cannot be overemphasized, and that is why Dangote cement is still remaining till date. So when you build a brand and you have branding, the key to remain on your customer's mind is influence. And this influence comes in a lot of ways, which we'll be looking at in the next lesson. So let's look at how you can measure your brand relevance in the market. How you can know that this brand is relevant in the market. Number 1 is customer satisfaction and loyalty. When a customer is not satisfied, they cannot be loyal. That is utility point. The point of satisfaction. So When I am not satisfied with your product, how will I be loyal to you? It's not possible. But once I am satisfied with your product, you should trust me that I will come and buy again. I will come and buy again. My loyalty cannot be bought by another company because I am satisfied. I am writer. I write a lot. There's some pen I cannot go to go and buy to use to write. Why? Because I'm not satisfied with the service, with the product. But there's some pen I do buy. So why? I'm satisfied with what they did, and then they have bought my loyalty. They don't need to see me. They don't need to shove themselves on my neck. But because of the satisfaction I have from them, I am loyal to them. So if you are satisfied with my service, you should know that you will surely be loyal to me. When you know, oh, he is best. What he's doing, it makes sense. He's doing what is right. I love what he's doing. Another way to measure your relevance in the market is price. Many of us are even afraid to. Many of us are afraid. Let me throw it to us directly. To raise our price high. Why? Because we don't have a market relevance. You know that if I make a product and I sell it 15,000 naira, nobody will buy it. I made a book some times ago, and then it was a Christian ebook. When I made the book, when I check my market relevance, I know that I don't have any relevance in the market on that aspect of Christianity yet. So instead of selling the book, I have to give it out for free for people to read it, because I don't have a relevance yet in the market in the aspect of that Christianity. So the same thing applies to a lot of people, a lot of business, a lot of companies. Their price. Now, this is how we now see it. When they want to come out, they come up with a low price. When Keke Napep wanted to come out, it came out with 150,000 naira. But currently now in the market, it's above 5 million naira. Why? They have relevance in the market. They are relevant in the market. They are consistent in the market. They have relevance. So people are buying them. People are using them. When Opay started as Opay Ride, and then when the relevance grew, Opay became a mobile app, and Opay is still relevant in the market to date. So that's pricing. That's how you know that this product is relevant in the market. There are some phones that, because of their relevance in the market, they have high price. And there are some that, because of their irrelevance in the market, they came up with low price. But as they continue in the service, you will see that their pricing will be going high. It will be going high because their relevance, as their relevance increases, their price increases. This is one of the ways you can measure your relevance in the market. Another aspect in measuring the brand relevance is new market entry. What do I mean by new market entry? This is how a brand, should I use the word digress or advances? Let me use the word advance from a particular product to making another product Dangote cement, Dangote salt, Dangote rice, Dangote this, Dangote refinery. So this is another angle that you can measure a brand relevancy. How the brand is able to go into different markets, and then they still keep their consistency. They still stay in the market. They still remain relevance even in the other markets, and they have not even lose value or lose place. So new market entry is another way to measure the relevance of a brand. This is how you know that, this brand is succeeding, this brand is strengthful, this brand is increasing. It's increasing. We have Apple Watch, Apple laptop, Apple phone. So they move. They started from a place. They started from one product. They started from a particular product. Then they began to move and upgrade, and then have different angle, different aspect. So as a brand consultant also, you must be able to measure the relevance of the brand that you're helping out by what are they doing, how are they increasing, what are they diversing into, what are they digressing into, what are they also building aside what they are doing before. And personally also in our life, you cannot just remain on a particular point. That's why we talk about new module innovation in the previous lecture. You cannot just remain in the particular place. You must always find ideas, understanding, upgrade, move from one skill Add another skill. It's not that you are going to opt out of that previous skill. Add another skill. Add this skill, add that skill. It's not, our brain can function in a lot of places. A lot of places. So you had relevant skills that can fit in line with everything that you are doing. So this is how we can measure our own relevance also. You know, oh, I am relevant in the market, because when people are buying from here, buying this from you, buying that from you, buying that from you, it will increase your stock price. It will increase your profit, and it will make you more relevant in the market. So as any company that is not going into new markets, so that company will soon become outdated, because possibly there are some companies that will rise up and even beat the product that the person makes. So a company must not forget to always enter into new markets, and they must not forget also to have new modus innovations. You might be wondering, what does employee recruitment and retention has to do with brand relevance? Let me tell you, the kind of people that want to work with you, or the kind of people that you recruit in a brand or in a business, and how you are able to retain those people, is another way that you can measure your relevance. Some schools cannot employ BSc holders, because they are not relevant to that extent. And some school will not even employ NCEs. They want a degree holder that studies education. And some school will not be able to. Some school will not even be able to retain a BSc holder, not to talk of recruiting a BSc holder. And some will not be able to do for masters. Well, when you get to some schools, get to some industry, get to some company, they are looking for masters, they are looking for professors, they are looking for this, looking for that. So it's another way to measure your relevance, or the relevance of anything that you are doing. Because who are the people that want to come to work with you? Who are the people that wrote application letter to that industry, to that brand, to that company? And how are you able to retain those people? Retention goes in a lot of ways. Number one, salary. When you see a brand that employs a master degree holder, you should know that, and they are paying the person, and the person is not complaining, he's not come to the internet to say, oh, this and that, it not suit them to cut and do this. You should know that brand is relevant. The wardrobe allowances, in nutshell, in general, let me just say the job offer. And they are consistent in this, and they are not owing their staffs, their staffs are not complaining. Because one thing you should notice this: if the internal aspect of any brand is suffering, the external will suffer. Once anything is happening internally, it's going to affect the external. So this one even seems as to be the most important aspect of it, because once your staffs are complaining, once your staffs are not in line with you, once your staffs are not ready to fulfill the vision of the brand, you surely know that you have to be recruiting staff, and then it takes time. Everyone who comes into an organization must pass through recruitment. There's no master. You can be a master in another field. When you come to that organization, the organization will have to show you their own culture, show you their own ways. It will take time. Now, before they blend you into the culture, before they blend you into their purpose and vision, before you become useful for them, it will take a lot of time. So how they can retain their workers and their employees is one of the ways you can measure their relevance. People are not saying, oh, I just left, I resigned from that company, they are useless company. And then once you begin to have 1, 2, 3 bad reviews of that company, before you know it, it goes to the market. And we are in the days of social media. Social media has spoiled everything. It's making some things to be good, making some things to be bad. Because once anybody comes to social media now, if anybody make evil report of Coca-Cola today, I am telling you, count 2 months, Coca-Cola sales in the market will reduce. I don't know if you have found a product like Lacasera. Maybe you heard about the product like Lacasera. You see that there's no more Lacasera in town. They have another version of Lacasera now that is not as that of before. That original one, that's what I'm talking about. When some people began to come to the internet to say Lacasera can boil meat, Lacasera can be used to untie knots, Lacazette destroys the intestine. Lacazette can burn this. Lacazette can do that. Before you know it, the relevance of Lacazette in the market went down. And those days, I drank a lot of Lacazette because I love the way it gives energy. So that is one of the advantage or disadvantage of social media. Once anybody come up and say this and that and this and this and this about a company, about a brand, before you know it, the brand is going down. So that's why you see most brands always encourage positive reviews. If you go to Play Store, once you comment anything negative on that app, maybe you say their service is not good, you see immediately they will reply to you politely, in a calm way, in a professional way. They will tell you, we are sorry, we are going to improve. Why? Your review matters. Because your review can make another person not to download that app, can make another person not to patronize them. I have stopped patronizing a lot of apps. Why? Because of their reviews. If I wanted to download a app, once I go and check the review and I see that, oh, this app is not having a good review, immediately I stop. I don't download it. Reviews. Now, if myself, another person, before you know it, that app is losing their value in the market, is going down little by little, and before you know it, we will not see them again. So it's very important that a brand is able to recruit people and then retain people, and the quality of the people that are working in the brand will determine the relevance of the brand. The quality of the people working in any company, in any business, determines the relevance of that business. These are summaries of everything that we have been trying to say on this principle of a thing. Effective branding principles. Number one is know who you are. You know, that is where we started from. Know who you are, know what you stand for, know what you do. Be sure of how you do it. So that is why in the class, in the introduction aspect, we are asked to introduce ourselves very well, to detail, because knowing who you are is very paramount to becoming successful in anything. Then number two is consistency. Be consistent. Yes, you cannot bring out a product this week and next week you are not bringing out another product. If you are writing a book, your book, you must produce new book at least every 3 months. If your capacity cannot take it in 3 months, at least it must be every 4 months, or let's say twice in a year. You have to be consistent. Consistency is one of the key for a brand to succeed. Consistency means going on and on and on and on without stopping. Then another thing is you have to influence people. You need to know how to influence your people. Influencing people is the key to people buying from you. If you can't influence people, they cannot buy from you. Either you are running the service or you are running the product, or you are having a product. People cannot buy for you when you don't influence them. And there are ways that you can influence people: by your design, your package, your product, your story. These are the ways that we can influence people. The quality of what you do, they are the ways that you can influence people. Another way is to stand out. Another principle is standing out. Be distinct. Don't look like other people. Don't look like them. Be real. Make sure that you are real. Don't copy anybody. Don't try to look like anybody. Be yourself. Stand alone. Be real. Stand out. Let the world see you. That you have something that you are doing, that you are rendering as a service or as a product to the world. Be consistent with it. Make sure you are doing it frequently. But it just start from you knowing who you are, defining yourself, your purpose, your vision, your mission, and everything. This is what can make a brand successful. To measure the strength of a brand, we look at 4 things. Number one is the advertisement and their promotion. How are they consistent in the market? How are they advertising? Every strong company runs adverts consistently. No matter the year that they have been, you will see them. You always see their adverts consistently. So that is one of the strengths to measure. Oh, this brand is true. It's not that they appear today in the search bar or in the market, you don't see them again. They appear tomorrow, they don't see them again. You don't see them again. Now you see, a good advert and a good promotional advert will help them in having a good public relations. When you are seeing that, that's when you'll be able to relate with them. So when they are not in the public, they cannot have a relation with the public. So when they advertise and or when they make out a promotional video or anything, their goal is to have public relation. You know, like, shares, comments, leads, engagement, and the likes. So another thing to measure their strength is their product or service design. You see that every brand or company has a specific standing out design. You will see. So you will be able to measure the strength of a brand when you see their design or their service design. In fact, when you see some book cover, you want to buy that book. That's why some people now say, do not judge a book by its cover. There are some books that even though their content does not make sense, but once you see the cover, you will assume in your mind that the owner of this book, the one who wrote this book, is a strong person, and you want to buy from them. You want to buy the book. There are some product, when you get where you want to buy some product and you see another design, you like, I need to get this product. Design. Then the last thing we are going to be looking at or discussing in this lecture is employee communications. What is their employees saying about them? I've said that earlier, it has come up again. What are they saying about them? How is their employee relating with them? How are they relating with their employees? How is their employee relating with them?